Are you into frugal living, or you'd like to be? And are you a fan of a top 10 list? Well, I got you! In this video, I'm going to share with you my all-time favorite top 10 frugal tips. Welcome, I'm Amy, and here at Frugal Over 50, I give tips and tools for frugal living. Now let's get to my top 10 list. Number 1 relates to mindset, and it is frugal living is a way of treating yourself. Now, if you're like me and you're a woman of maturing years, you have probably spent your life listening to advertisers tell you to treat yourself. Treat yourself with ice cream, treat yourself with mascara, treat yourself with nails, treat yourself with all kinds of things. All of those involve spending money, and they're not saying, for instance, treat yourself by adding to your retirement account, or treat yourself by getting a good job so you can have financial independence. They don't say things like that to us. And so it's been a surprise to me and a delight to discover that frugal living feels like treating myself. So when I am living frugally and when I am making decisions based on what really matters to me the most, I am giving myself the respect that I think I deserve. I am giving myself the indulgence of taking myself seriously. I am giving myself the peace of mind that I'm doing the best that I can with my finances and indeed with my life. Number 2, budgeting is your friend. This is a hard-fought and hard-won lesson for me personally. I struggle with things like adding and subtracting. Knowing which direction numbers go is a struggle for me, just mentally. And so it wasn't until I discovered a budgeting program called You Need a Budget, which I use and love, that I was able to do this successfully. What I discovered is that if I understand what money is, what stuff is, and what the relationship is between the two, how much money does that stuff cost, then I can make decisions based on how much money I have, how much stuff I need, and how much stuff I want. For instance, my next payday is coming up on Wednesday, and I know how much I'm going to be getting, and I know what my purchases are going to be and how much they are going to cost me for things like groceries, for household, for some other things that I'm planning ahead for. And there are always surprises. There are always things that we can't predict. But it is such a joy to have my budget there as my friend, holding my hand, going through life with me, helping me make decisions, helping me move stuff around, helping me understand when it really is a crisis and when it's not, when I could make some decisions and move things around and make things better for myself. Budgeting is your friend. Number 3, eat at home. The part of the world where I live, anytime you go out to do anything food or drink related, it is very expensive. Eating at home is the most frugal option. And I'm talking about buying the food, bringing it home, cooking it, preparing it and eating it, saving leftovers. And in fact, I want to encourage you to try this if you have not, to celebrate it if you do it. If you have expert tips on favorite recipes, favorite foods that you'd like to share with the group, put them down below in the comments. Related to this, one of my favorite subjects, make a home cafe. That is such a delight. A home cafe gives you the opportunity to make things that you would like to drink, to make little treats that you would like to eat in a way that works for your health, for your budget, and honestly for your time. My current favorite cafe items are drinking hot cocoa, which I make myself. I heat up the milk and then I add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder and then just a little bit of sweetener, and it is delicious. I use a little milk frother to mix it up and it is so good. My other little lovely favorite cafe item is berries and Greek yogurt. Currently, I'm eating strawberries mixed with a little strawberry jam for sweetness, and then with Greek yogurt just mixed in. It is so delicious, and sometimes I'll just have that combination for dinner, and I feel like I've had a home cafe, a fun little dinner. I'm not over full. It really works within my budget, and it is a delight. If you have a favorite home cafe recipe or a favorite home cafe drink, this is another thing I'd love to have you share in the comments. I'm always interested in learning more. And if you haven't tried this yet, I want to encourage you, make your own home cafe. Now, if you're enjoying this video, would you give it a thumbs up, give it a like to help support the channel? And if you have not already, consider subscribing. If you'd like to get notifications, hit the notification bell. And now let's get back to the tips. Number 5 is a big one. Know your debt. This can be a challenging subject, and I always think of the wise words of my late father who would say things like, just be honest. Just be honest. And the idea here of honesty is just being respectful of your own self and saying, this is the situation I am in. One of the things that I have found really helpful about knowing my debt is that then I can think about it as part of my total financial picture. So I can think of the money that I'm bringing in, I can think of the money I'm spending, I'm thinking of the money that I am either saving or would like to save, and I can think of the debt as a piece of that. If you live in the part of the world where I live, you probably can't get through adulthood without amassing some kind of debt. There are outliers, of course, who have never had any debt, but many of us go in and out of debt throughout our adult lives, and including that information about what our debt is at the moment into our current financial picture gives us a full, as my dad would say, honest understanding of our whole situation. For instance, I have some debt that was acquired in the process of medical treatments, and that I feel quite different about than I feel about debt that might have been acquired through excess consumer spending. And I might handle the pay down of those kinds of debt slightly differently. When it comes to frugal living, understanding your debt is just as important as understanding your savings. Number 6, use your library. If you are like me, you like to read a lot. I am the sort of person who kind of walks from room to room holding a book, or in the last decade or so, mostly my Kindle Paperwhite, and constantly reading. I read while I brush my teeth. I read while I wait for my food to heat up. I read while I'm waiting for anything. I read constantly when I'm not waiting for things. I make time to read. If you're like me and you read a lot, there may be a temptation to make a large home library of books that you purchase. And you know what? That may be something that is so important to you that you have shelving and you have books and you have a budget line item for these kinds of things. Great, go for it. In my case, because I move quite frequently and I travel, I really like to have everything in the palm of my hand. And so I have my Kindle Paperwhite, or I can read using the Kindle app on my phone. And I use my library. I have tried things like Kindle Unlimited or just purchasing books outright. I do have several that I have purchased outright, but the library is amazing. When you order something at the library, you can put it on hold. You can sometimes borrow it right away. You can renew it. It becomes your library. If you are new to libraries, please go to yours, get your library card, get the Libby app or whichever app your library uses, and then you can check out ebooks. If you love a physical book, go in and just walk around. It's like a bookstore where you don't have to pay. Use your library. Number 7, unsubscribe. This tip is the new don't pay for cable. Do you remember the days when we used to all say to each other, don't pay for cable, just get a subscription or two, you'll be fine. How many subscriptions do we have? I, this year, in the year 2026, went through my subscriptions and I have cut out several, and I'm thinking about a couple of more. Now there could be 2 problems here. One is that subscriptions are cheap and easy usually to just set up, and so it might be that you have set up several subscriptions and you might be in a situation where you're not sure how many you have. So the first task is to go through your credit card statement, go through your debit card statement, wherever you pay out of, and add up all the subscriptions you have, see how much you're paying per month in total subscriptions. And then the second thing is, look at all of those and say, do I actually use these? I had one specifically for Netflix that I've decided to cancel because I used to watch Netflix a whole lot. Well, they recently raised their price again, and when I saw that price increase, I realized I hardly watch Netflix at all. And so I just canceled it. And so I don't notice the loss of that subscription, but I do notice the gain of $30 a month in my bank account. It's great. So check your subscriptions, see how many you have, and unsubscribe where you can. Number 8, unplug. If you live in the world, you live in some place where something bad is happening right now. It's the state of the world. The other thing that we deal with is the state of information. And the pace of information is such that I could go on my phone right now, taking a little break from recording this video, and I could find out 6 or 7 horrible things that have happened, possibly in my neighborhood, possibly around the other side of the world, maybe all at the same time. Those of us who would like a more equitable, more socially just, more economically sound, more environmentally focused world are struggling. But I have discovered, particularly over the last few months, that it helps my peace and it helps my frugal living, specifically my intentionality about how I spend my money, my intentionality about how I spend my time, if I unplug. It's really difficult in this day and age, I have discovered, to completely not know what's happening out in the world. Even if I don't doom scroll, even if I don't go look at any news apps, even if I don't go on Reddit, I will still know what is happening just by listening to people talking around me, just by walking out in the world. You can dip in every so often and see, and sure enough, the world is still going mostly in a direction that I personally am not pleased with at the moment. But if I unplug, then I can focus on the things that I have influence on. I can make a more positive difference in the world that I live in the very small environment that I can influence. And it protects my peace and it keeps me from anxious spending. Do you see where I'm going with this, folks? It keeps me from going, I am so anxious, I just need to go buy something to feel better. And I wonder sometimes if the way the news cycles present to us constantly horrible information is more about selling us on anxious spending than it is about calling us to action to make a better world. We can make a better world, but I'm not sure we get there by just looking at the news all the time. So unplug, focus on your frugal living, and trust me, you will still be informed. Number 9, plan your frugal future. I like to think of this as organized hope. Do we know the future? Absolutely not. Can we really plan the future? Who knows? As soon as I say something, it has become the past. Past, present, and future are all melded together. But I like the expression organized hope because I do hope, for instance, to continue working for several more years. I also do hope to travel more. I also do hope to retire one day. And if I can look at the big picture of what I would like for my life to do, what direction I would like my life to go, going forward, and I keep frugal living at the core of it, then I can make decisions based on what priorities I have, what needs I have, and my realistic possibilities of fulfilling those needs. For instance, I would love to travel to a new destination every 6 months of the year. This, I have discovered, is not going to be financially feasible for me, whether I'm frugal or not. I just don't have it. I would have to go into massive debt, which would not fit any part of my priorities. And so, what I have decided to do, because travel is a priority, is in my budget. I have a line item for food, I have a line item for household items, I have a line item for gas, I have a line item for travel. And for every paycheck that I receive, even if I can only put $5 into that travel line item, I'm starting a savings account for travel so that when I have enough to go a place that I want to go, I can go there. It may take a while, but it's a priority, and I am organizing the hope that I have that I'll be able to continue to make trips. Also thinking about retirement. I have made some specific decisions about my work situation right now. I've been very privileged in the regard that I have been able to make those decisions, and the work that I do now is going to help me in my retirement later on. Organized hope, plan for the big picture. Number 10, stay strong. Consistency matters over intensity. If you have a short burst of, I'm going to be frugal this month, and then it's too much for you, it's too intense for you, and it all falls apart, and you overspend, and you get into a worse shape than you were before, that doesn't help. Stay consistent. If you're struggling with frugal living, pick one thing that you can do frugally, just do that consistently for a month or two. Then add something else, then add something else. Consistency always counts, and intensity is just for short bursts, just for short times, and it's not something that's going to get you where you need to go. So stay strong and stay frugal. Our quote for the day comes from a friend who was describing a task that was necessary but not so much fun, and said, you don't have to love it, but you do have to do it. And sometimes that may be how frugal living feels. You don't have to love it. It's okay. But you know what? You do have to do it because it's really good for you and it will keep your life going where you want it to go. I'm so glad you're here. Wherever you are on your frugal living journey, take the next step, whatever that next step is for you, and know that you are not alone, and I am so proud of you. Live frugally, change your life, and together we will change the world. I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many.